Hi everybody, this is Professor B coming to you live from my back porch, and I wanted to welcome you to your first official week of classes online. Sorry for the thunder rolling in the background, I'm just sort of taking the time that's available to me. But if you have watched the videos in order, then you have already completed your first assignment for this week, which was to look through and listen to all of the materials posted in the Getting Started module. So all of the documents there and all the videos there. If you have already done that, then you may proceed. If you haven't already done that, then pause and go back and watch everything and read everything from the Getting Started module, because I just want us to all be on the same page with how the class proceeds timing-wise. So as you know already, if you are with me and you can proceed, this class is weekly asynchronous, which means you have one weekly deadline on Thursdays at 11:59 p.m. Italy time, and you can complete your homework at any time during that week. So your first actual homework in this course is not due until Thursday the 27th at 11:59 p.m. your time. So you have plenty of time. We are not in a rush, but I'm going ahead and posting this today so that you know what is due. So I mentioned to you when I recorded the videos last week that the theme of this course is Educate Me. I want you to teach me about yourself and about what matters to you most in the world right now. So pretty standard for any English course is we start with some kind of an icebreaker or an introduction. And I wanted to do something along those lines that gave me a better sense of what's your name and what's your favorite breakfast cereal, that kind of thing. So the assignment that I'm having you work on for Thursday the 27th, it is an introduction assignment where I will learn about you, and it's called A Summary in 6. And I will take a picture of this and post it as well, because to be honest, I don't know if this is gonna like flip the video and make it backwards. But this is mine that I made just to give you an idea. So the Summary in 6 assignment is basically where you are going to summarize yourself with 6 descriptors of no more than 2 words apiece. So those can be adjectives or those can be nouns, but they need to be 1 to 2 words maximum. So the total word count for this assignment will actually be 6 to 12 words, and that's it. This is actually the shortest homework assignment that you will have with me. So that's good. We're starting with something pretty easy. Although I will say when I did this myself, I actually had to think about it for several days. It did not come to me instantly. And so the basic idea with this is, if you were going to introduce yourself to somebody with just 6 descriptors, that's it. What are the most important 6 things that you think they need to know about you as a person? That could be related to your family. It could be related to your passions, what you're really interested in. It could be related to the job you want to have, like you could say future doctor. It could be related to anything. But it can be titles or adjectives that sum you up as a person, and they can be very lighthearted. They can even be a little self-deprecating. So as a way of introducing myself to you, I'm going to go over my 6 with you so that you can learn a little bit more about me. So for mine, I actually just did these in order of like the longest words to the shortest so that they would fit on the piece of paper. But I started with the Unspeakable's wife, because if you know anything about Harry Potter, the book series, people in the world of Harry Potter who are Unspeakables work in the Department of Mysteries, in the Ministry of Magic, and people are not allowed to know about what they do. So I jokingly have friends who refer to my husband as the Unspeakable. They will say, "How is the Unspeakable doing? What's the Unspeakable up to?" Because he works for Y-12 National Security Complex. That's something that I can say. But beyond that, I'm not allowed to know anything about what my husband does. And he is not allowed to tell me anything because I do not have a Q clearance. Even if I did, I wouldn't have a need to know. I put that on there because I know that some of you with your military parents might have moms and dads who you could refer to as unspeakables. They might be doing mysterious things for the government that they're not allowed to tell you about. And it's an interesting dynamic because you can ask them how their day was, but there's only so much that they're allowed to say to you in return. So I just wanted to let you know that if any of you are in that boat, if you have people you love who have to absolutely keep their lips zipped about their jobs, guess what? You're not alone. I'm in the same boat. So, number one, Unspeakable's wife. Number two is Appalachian. So I've lived in a lot of different places. One of the reasons I was really passionate about teaching you all is that I actually have also lived on a military base in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I lived on Kirtland AFB while my husband was doing some weaponeering training there at Sandia National Labs. But for the majority of my life, although I went to graduate school in Ohio and I went to undergraduate in Nashville, Tennessee, I am a born and raised Appalachian. And so what that means is if you may never have been to Tennessee before, the state is laid out like this, kind of horizontally, like a Band-Aid. And the three different sections of the state are very culturally different from one another. Like, it's almost like three different states in one. So I am very much an East Tennessean, and that carries a lot of meaning with it. So the Appalachian Mountain Range is this pocket of the country that you may or may not know much about, that spans all the way from Pennsylvania down into Georgia, that has a particular cultural heritage that is all its own, and that is distinct from the rest of the South. So that is who I am. I grew up in Roane County, Tennessee, and I now live in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, also known as the Atomic City or the Secret City, and I don't actually want to be anywhere else. I love living here, so there's nowhere else I'd rather move to. But my third descriptor is narcoleptic. Okay, this is where I ask for your mercy. So there's kind of a popular media depiction of narcoleptics where they're just falling asleep in the middle of talking all the time. It's not quite that bad, but I do have a diagnosis of narcolepsy. The only thing you need to know about it is that it impacts my short-term memory. Narcoleptics forget things not because they lose them, but because the data never gets uploaded to begin with, because they are working with a base level of drowsiness at all times that sometimes acts as like an unintentional shield, and information just bounces right off of it the first time. So teenage students can often lose patience with me because I will ask them the same questions sometimes a couple of times, and they will look at me and say, "Do you not remember having this conversation? We had this conversation 2 weeks ago." And I will say, "No, I do not control the remember." So what I am telling you is that I already adore you, I care about you very much, and I'm super invested in your success in this program. But if I forget little details like that, just go easy on me, be merciful with me, treat me like your Meemaw in the nursing home with her pudding cup. It is not that I don't care about you. It's just that I have this tricky little condition that sometimes, the sky had some thoughts about that, makes me have to repeat my questions. So I'm just asking for your patience in that regard. The next one is letter lover. So, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you this video is going to go over 10 minutes, and I'm so sorry. I'm supposed to keep it 10 minutes or less, but I don't really want to break this one up. I love mail. I love writing letters. I love writing notes. When I was your age and I was in high school, I was always, don't do this. Don't be like me. I was listening to the teacher, but I was also always sitting there writing notes to my friends, and then we would fold them into triangles and flick them across the room. And I would draw little, like, hearts and characters and all these things in them, and then I would seal them with wax. You know, I've just always been a letter lover. I love to send letters, and even today I like to get funky stationery to send mail. I like to send people stickers and magnets and bookmarks and various things that I make for them. That brings me joy. So all that is to say, I'm not expecting any of you necessarily to take me up on this, but if you would like mail from me, if you would like actual mail from your English teacher, with like a few little goodies inside, let me know. Send me your mailing address on the base to my Outlook email address, boldenme@roanestate.edu, and I will gladly send you a letter. with some things in it, and I'll make sure I get the postage right so that it gets there. It may take a while, but I'm happy to send you mail during this program. I can't send anything beyond like 6 stamps worth. So, you know, if you're like, hey, can you send me like a Beanie Baby or a Jelly Cat, you're probably out of luck on that. But I actually have no idea what items are trending for high schoolers, because it changes rapidly from year to year. Last year, people were still really into Squishmallows. I also love Squishmallows, but that's not one of my descriptors. So anyway, I am a letter lover. I love mail. And I am a dog lady. If he will come over, I will show you my dog right now. Let's see. Tundra, come. Oh, come here. Good boy. He's a good boy. Hi. Hi. Okay, he's coming this side. That's fine. Come here. That's a good boy. Okay, this is Tundra. Tundra is a Samoyed, and he is a Russian breed, a Russian indigenous breed. He is a sled puller by his nature. He is 8 years old, and he is the mascot for the middle college team here at Roane State Oak Ridge. And I don't think the video will let me turn my phone around, but there he is wandering around. He says, I leave again. I love dogs. I love my dog. I love all dogs. I also love, you know, cats, lizards, snakes, pet tarantulas. I love everybody's pets in general. I also, by the way, have a betta fish named Bane. I have a Nereid snail named General Zod. I have an assassin snail named Deathstroke, and then I have a bunch of shrimp that are collectively called the League of Shadows. But I don't have them on video. I can show you them later if anybody likes fish. So I love everybody's pets, whatever you have. I know for a lot of you it's difficult to have pets in your position, but if I had to pick a favorite, it is always going to be dogs. Sometimes I understand dogs better than I do people. But that is my special boy. I don't have the privilege of having my own children. So he's my buddy. He comes, you know, all sorts of places with me. I do actually bring him into campus a lot, and my on-ground students get to kind of use him as a therapy dog. And then the last thing I was going to show you is teacher. Now, that is not last in order of importance. If I was listing them in order of importance, teacher would have been on the top. But I have been teaching now since I was 22 years old. And even before that, I was student teaching when I was in high school. And now, like I said to you the other day, I am 41. So I guess that's 19 years. I come from a long line of teachers. I gave up on outrunning my destiny. My father, my uncle, my other uncle, my aunt, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my great-uncles were all teachers. So it's just like a family of potters or a family of basket weavers. I was fated to be one. So I love my job. I love getting to know my students. I love making connections and correlations with them, and as you have intuited from the theme of the class, I love learning from them as much as giving them the opportunity to learn from me. So that is my summary in 6. So Unspeakable's wife, narcoleptic, Appalachian, letter lover, dog lady teacher. That's me, pretty well summed up. I am also luckily still a daughter. Both of my parents, although they are divorced, they are really good friends. Both of my parents are still on the planet, and you'll hear me talk about them from time to time. So what I would like you to do for next week, for August the 27th, by midnight, is I'd like you to come up with a list of 6 descriptors for your summary in 6. What do you want me to know about you? And again, this is a deliberately short assignment. In fact, the challenge of the assignment is summing yourself up in so few words. And obviously doesn't have to be comprehensive. Like, should I have put Christian on mine? Absolutely. Should I have put Chipotle fan on mine? Probably. I mean, there's things that you could put on there indefinitely. The list could be 20 things, but just pick the first 6 that come to your mind. And again, it can be about anything that matters to you or anything that you are interested in. So what I would like you to do is post that list to the discussion board by Thursday the 27th at 11:59 p.m. There's a place for it. You'll see it linked here. You will click that link and you'll see where to post it in that thread. And you will just, all you have to do is type up your list. You're just going to say your name, and in that, put the name that you want to be called. So like, for instance, when you interact with me online, it shows my name as being Margaret. I hate the name Margaret. When I was your age, Margaret was the name of this really bratty character from Dennis the Menace, who was this really rude redhead. So that was my first association with the name. So I go by Maggie. Now you will call me Professor B or Professor Bolden. But if you're like that, if you have a birth certificate name but then a different name that you go by for any reason, go ahead and address it in that list. So you would say Tom Smith, summary in 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just list them off. But again, each descriptor can be no more than 2 words maximum. Now, you will see that I kind of scrapbooked mine. And I like stickers, and I like stamp ink, and I like acrylic pens, so you can see I kind of went ham on this. You don't have to do that. You can just type out the list. This can be the easiest assignment in the world. But I will give you extra credit if you make your list look cool by hand, not with AI, not with Canva, although I do love Canva. Big fan of Canva. I could have said Canva fan on my descriptors, but by hand, if you do something to make your list look cool, I will give you a point of extra credit. That's just for enrichment. Just to make yourself something nice that you can like hold up in your room and remember, like, I am this is me. But you don't have to do that. That's not required. That's just extra credit. So if you, I think I inhaled a fly. The storm is telling me it's time to go inside. But if you have any questions about anything that I just told you, never hesitate to reach out via RaiderNet email or Remind. Nobody has signed up for Remind yet, and that's completely okay. That is not mandatory. I just gave you that in case you want a quicker way to reach out to me. So you are not required to do that. The only thing you're required to use is the Outlook RaiderNet email. Remember, the Momentum messaging system is glitchy for me because of my computer, so that's not the best way to reach out. I am formally requesting that you use RaiderNet email or that you use Remind once you go sign up for that. And that, again, is in the Getting Started module of the course. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me on one of those 2 platforms. I'm happy to answer. Or if you want the letter lever to go into action and you want something in the mail, send me that on RaiderNet, because that's our like official legal communication and it's the most secure. But that's it. That's all you're doing this first week, is make sure that you've looked at everything in the Getting Started section, and then make sure that you have uploaded on the discussion board your summary in 6 for yourself. And that is your first discussion board assignment. So I'm here if you need me for anything. I'm so sorry that this video was so long. In the future, again, I will always try to keep them to 10 minutes and break them up. But I hope that you all are having a great start to classes. I hope that the weather there is good. I hope that you are eating something delicious and seeing beautiful things. And I cannot wait to have the chance to get to know you a little better. One last thing about the discussion board. Some classes mandate that the students interact with each other on the discussion board. You do not have to do that for Comp 1. There is no requirement that you interact with each other. You can. If you see somebody's post and you think it's funny or interesting, and like they mention, if they say like Fortnite player, you can hop on there and be like, I also play Fortnite, yay, that's fine. But there's never any requirement that you interact with each other for points. If you do interact, I want it to be organic and because you wanted to. I will respond to your posts, but you are not required to reply to me. You can if you want to, but there's no requirement. Once you have posted the list, you've done your job. So have a great rest of your day. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next week.